Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Lately, I've been enjoying some nice horror stories and I found a couple of really good ones. One of my subscribers also asked for a top 10 on horror manga, so I decided to record one. Keep in mind, I won't be recommending titles like Gantz, I Am Hero, Tokyo Ghoul, Parasite, The Promised Neverland or Ajin because they are already well known. If you enjoyed the video or if it helps you in any way, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to send me a message, you can always follow my Instagram account or join our Discord community. The link to both will be in the description. Without further delay, let's get into the top 10. Number 10 comes with Pumpkin Night. When Kazuya and his friends were in junior high, they bullied a girl named Naoko, culminating in a prank that severely disfigured her face. Now, years later, Naoko has escaped from a mental institution. Wearing a pumpkin mask, she'll stop at nothing until she finds and tortures those who made her life hell, killing anyone that stands in her way. Now, this manga is very aggressive. It's basically about a serial killer who is seeking revenge on the people that ruined her life. And to be honest, I love it. There's a lot of explicit violence, so be careful when reading it if you are sensitive to gory content, since every other panel is filled with blood. Besides that, the art style is beautiful and the story is very mature. Try it out and see what you think. In number 9 we have Drifting Classroom. One day, like any other, Sho and his classmates and the entire elementary school were mysteriously transported to a barren wasteland filled with terror. There is no food or water, nothing in sight but an endless desert in all directions, and both the students and the teachers are so terrified that they are rioting, murdering and falling victim to their fears. With no idea of how they got there or how they will survive, these students must work together and set forth into the unknown to discover the truth of their circumstances. I love a nice survival story, and survival paired with horror is incredibly good. Keep in mind this manga is from 1974, so the art style is pretty old, which for me is actually pretty good, but some people might not enjoy it as much as me. This series is incredibly good on being disturbing, especially because it focuses on little kids, but everything else also adds to the story. Definitely recommend this one since it's completely finished. Number 8 comes with As the Gods Will and As the Gods Will second series. The main character, Day, at high school begins just as normal as boring as ever, but it doesn't end that way. After his teacher's head explodes, he and his classmates find themselves forced to play a children's game such as Daruma ga Koronda, a game like Red Light Green Light, with deadly stakes. With no idea who is behind this mysteriously deadly game session and no way of knowing when it will finally end, the only thing Shun and the other students can do is keep trying to win. As I said before, I'm a fan of survival type manga, and this is exactly that with life or death situations. You may guess it by now, but there's a lot of gory scenes. I thoroughly enjoyed this manga and the games and even the plot twists in the middle. Definitely recommend you reading it. In number 7 we have Manhole. A gruesome, disfigured naked man climbs from beneath a manhole and wanders the street briefly before vomiting blood and falling down dead. Detectives Now and Ken are sent to investigate the case, but what they uncover is far more horrifying than they could ever possibly imagined. What could have been a simple parasitic infection could have widespread, deadly consequences, and it's up to the duo to discover the truth behind these events. Given the current climate we are going through, this manga is very scary. Combining a pandemic with detective work and some really disturbing imagery makes this manga really frightening. Now, it's not totally fuel for nightmares, but it's pretty horrific. If you feel like you might enjoy it, give it at least 5 chapters. Number 6 comes with Homunculus. The main character, a man disillusioned with life, meets a young medical student bored with life. To relieve his boredom, the medical student offers the main character 700,000 yen to undergo a trepanning to see if he can unlock his sixth sense. And he eventually agrees. However, much to his dismay, it actually succeeds, and now the main character must contend with seeing a homunculus, the metaphysical and symbolic representations of a person's psychological disorder. He now helps people, usually against his own will, and often theirs as well, with resolving their psychological problems. This is a great manga that will leave you thinking for ages. This really dives deep between what people are outside and on the inside. It's an absolute of a beast of a manga with characters that will leave you in awe. Give it a try. In number 5 we have Shigahime. A boy unwillingly loses his ability to live a normal life. thanks to an immortal vampire woman and their former Lekai. Cursed with the form of a monster and the need to hunt for blood to sustain a human form, how will the main character cope with his new life? This manga is similar to Tokyo Ghoul in a lot of aspects, so if you enjoyed Tokyo Ghoul, you'll probably enjoy this one as well. Before you watch it, let me warn you, like the many other mangas in this list, this one contains a lot of violence, blood and nudity, so be ready for that. Number 4 comes with Uzumaki. In the seemingly normal Japanese town of Kurosagi, probably that's how you pronounce it, odd events are beginning to take place. Residents are becoming obsessed with spiral, whirlwinds, snail shells, pottery or anything with a spiral design. But when strange events start happening in the town with spirals appearing in stirring places, can anyone escape their horrible draw? After reading the story, you shall not look at spirals the same way. This manga is quite old, so it has that old art style, which for me really adds a lot to the horror story. Everything about it just feels right, or should I say wrong. The art is horrifying, the plot is extremely intriguing and the characters are super well made. Definitely try out this manga. In number 3 we have Doro Hedoro. The city of Hole is a desolated town where magic users go to test their powers by disfiguring or killing its people. After being cursed by a sorcerer, Kamen was left with the body of a man and the head of a lizard. Determined to break the spell over him, Kamen works with his companion Nikaido to search for the one who made him this way. Unfortunately, with no memory as to his assailant's identity, there is only one way for him to locate them. He must bite the head off any magic user he meets so that a man inside of him can determine if they are the culprit. As he bites, slashes and kills his way through the cruel magic users, will Kamen be able to find out who the man in his mouth is, where the one he hunts is hiding, and return to normal, while keeping the revengeful magic users at bay. This manga has a recent anime adaptation, so I won't go into detail. The plot connects in a way that doesn't make sense in the beginning, but it does later on. It's an incredibly good read with an even more amazing ending. Give it at least 15 chapters to see if you enjoy it. Number 2 comes with the Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service. Recently died and haven't finished business? The Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service is your ticket to a worry-free eternal rest. Made up of spirit communicator Kuro, embalmer Keiko, leader Hao, body dowser Makoto and Yuji, a boy who communicates with aliens through a hand puppet, the group handles everything from suicides to murders with ease. Whether you need a message delivered or want vengeance for your death, the Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service can help you out for a price. And while the team often has to end up working on a volunteer basis, they'll still get the job done with a sarcastic smile. This story is definitely not for the faint of heart. The story is rather slow when getting into the main plot, but it has a nice lead up to it. The art is also amazing, but what really drives the story is the characters. The interaction between the 5 characters and their surroundings is just amazing, and they even managed to sneak some comedy in there. One of my favorite manga, I would definitely recommend you giving this one a try. And in number 1 we have Mieruko-chan. One day, Miko suddenly started seeing grotesque beings that others couldn't. Her response was not to run, not to face them, but to do everything she could to completely ignore them. Can she keep a straight face and continue her day-to-day life while surrounded by horrifying monsters? This story is currently ongoing, when in this list most of them are completed. You will be amazed at how good the monsters are drawn. It's so horrifying that it will leave you disturbed, and that's exactly what I love about it. There's also some slight comedy, but that doesn't end the constant horrific mood. I would definitely recommend this to anyone out there, so definitely give it a try. Before we end the video, a moment to thank the members of the channel. As per usual, you guys are amazing and you support me a lot, and I couldn't thank you enough. Thank you for everything, and I hope you continue to support me in the future. Now guys, this is the top 10 horror manga. Did you find any manga that you haven't read yet? Did you like it? If this video helped in any way, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to activate the bell so you don't miss any video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.